Hello YouTube and welcome back to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States. Welcome to my channel and Happy New Year! I hope you guys are all enjoying how your new year has started. So welcome to my channel. Please note that I have a Monday series and a Saturday series that concentrates on one stamp set, suite, or bundle. And for the month of January, we are concentrating on the Garden Meadow bundle. And I borrowed my aunt's. Yes, my Aunt Carol. Thank you. So here we go. You get a look at the dies. Sorry, this is how she did not keep the actual package. She likes her dies to stay with her. This is my stamp set. I just didn't have the dies. So here's look at the stamp set and then the dies here. We are using the arch from the dies, the wheelbarrow dies that go with the wheelbarrow, and the little boot die from this set. Kind of confusing having to. Then we are using Thinking of You Hello, because you guys know I love hello, right? I better stick this back in there. So we are doing a fun fold as it is the fourth Monday of the month. Now, I got this wonderful card from Michelle, and she sent me this beautiful little birdhouse. Isn't this gorgeous? I absolutely love it. And we are going to be making this fun fold. We're going to be kind of making a little shed, I thought. And I have a sample to show you. This is my version. It's the same fold. Right? Same fold. She sent me the directions on how to do this. We use the arch, the wheelbarrow, the little boots, and we're using the retired double oval punch. So here we go. Now this card design here was made by Creative Moments by G and her directions. Now hopefully I'm going to be able to explain this to you a little simply, because I think I think I can do this. I really do. So this is what we are going to make. We're going to use some dimensionals and stuff, but I just wanted to have a sample of what we are doing, and I didn't want to do it identical to what she did. We have a little strip here. So the paper we are going to be using is Country Lace, and I chose for the card I'm doing with you guys is the Smoky Slate. I really like that. So here we have a piece of Smoky Slate. It is 4 1/4 by 11. It is already scored at 5 1/2. We'll get to the rest of it later. I just want to show you what elements I'm bringing in. I have the arch from the die set in white. I have a piece of that DSP at 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside of my card, and I have a white envelope. Now you are going to need a pencil and a ruler to make some marks on these, as well as your card base. This we are going to set aside. Now I pre-stamped and die cut the wheelbarrow, and then I stamped in black memento on some Daffodil Delight the little boots. We're going to do a little bit of coloring. I started coloring. We're going to finish coloring on the wheelbarrow, and then on I have, oh, it's gray granite that I did the double. Oh, this is basic gray. It was supposed to be Smoky Slate, but I cut the wrong one. It's okay. I have Smoky Slate here, and the bottom is in white. So what we are going to do is, I think we're going to get our stamping finished, and then we'll concentrate on everything. So we are going to stamp. We don't need to stamp a lot. I need the stamp in pairs now. These are polymer stamp sets. So we are going to stamp the hello. You can see it here in Daffodil Delight. A really good hello. It's perfect. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. What else? Oh, I need, well, I can't really stamp that. Let's stamp our envelope. This is going to be in black Memento. Thinking of you. Oh no, just our envelope, right? So we're going to do the little flower on the front and the little boots right here. Just a little something, right? Oops, and we can stamp our brown coverage down here on our, not in black Memento, we want it in Old Olive. So we have our little ground, and this was really simple. You can start here and just stamp a couple of times. Start somewhere and stamp, start somewhere and stamp, somewhere, stamp. Let's stamp off somewhere. It just needs a little bit of filled in somewhere. Okay, now what else I want to do is I want to go around the edge here. Let me grab my little, this is Smoky Slate. Now I haven't re-inked it. I'm just going to huff on it and I'm going to go around the edges. If I need to re-ink it, I will. But I'm thinking I don't need to. I just want to go around the edge, just huffing on it, reactivating some of that ink. If I feel like I'm running out of ink, I will tap it into the Smoky Slate ink pad, but I don't think so. And I have blends. I have Smoky Slate blends, I have the Dark Pebbled Path, and I have Old Olive and Daffodil Delight. Look at that. Just adds a little bit. So that is done. Check. Should I show you how we colored our boots? So I took the Dark Pebbled Path and I'm just gonna color the boots like so. I felt I actually used the Smoky Slate on there and I didn't think it was dark enough. So the Dark Pebbled Path. So here's our little boots. Now the Dark Pebbled Path is the wheel. Didn't really need the light for the wheel, just the dark. You can see I did part of it. I didn't want to be here coloring for everything. And these handles. That's it for that one. Now for the Smoky Slate. So this is the dark. I took it and I went the edge of my wheelbarrow and all these little parts of the wheelbarrow down here, these metal parts, was the dark. I'm just finishing up what I started, right? So there's that. Now for the light gets to be the body of the wheelbarrow. I'm already in my head as I'm coloring, trying to figure out, okay, what bling do I have that would be good with this? Probably some brush brass butterflies. All right, so you can see where I started with the dark old olive. I can see where I missed one, like right here. That looks good. And so now I'm going to come back in with the light. And you can see I did the dark part of my flowers. I mean, you could have made those flowers, but I chose this all to be greenery. It just simplified it for me. That's all. Making it simple makes it just that much more simple, right? I mean, I'm sure I could have all this in the color, but to me, it just seemed to work its way to be green. Some greens, some ferns in there. This could be a wibble full of dandelions. And you can see I already did the center dots and the dark daffodil delight. So all I have to do is come in here with the light and do some swirls along all the flowers. I tried to keep it really simple. And oh, I almost forgot that. The inner part of the wheel needs to get finished off in the light. And that's our wheelbarrow. So that is how simple it was to color those. All right, so all those elements are done. We should probably take some smoky slate and go around the outside. I might have to push it down so I can add a little bit more color. Puff on it a little. So there. Now we are ready. Now let's work on cutting. So you need to make your tent piece, your birdhouse, right? Your tent piece here. And it's really quite simple. You just need a ruler. So you have your piece. It's 4 inches across the top. So you take a ruler and you put a mark at 2 inches. Right? Come to the side and put a mark at 1 1/2. And go to the other side and put a mark at 1 1/2. Now we're going to do this to the DSP as well. So DSP, do it on the reverse side that you are going to use. Do not try to overthink this, right? It is not super complicated. So at the top of the 4-inch side, at the top of one end, put a mark at 2. On the side of each end, put a mark at 1 1/2. Go to the other side, mark at 1 1/2. Now we are going to cut. You can draw a line, let me show you, but what we're going to do is we are going to cut from that line to this line, and from this line, oops. If you need to draw it, draw it. I don't need to draw it. I'm just going to cut it on the guillotine. So here we go. We need both pieces done. One is for the inside, one is for the outside. There we go. Chomp. Turn it. Do not overthink it. And you don't got to worry about the pencil mark because it's on the opposite side. This is for the front. So here you go. So this is without the lines. Here's my mark. Here's this mark. So I'm going to turn it till this mark hits that mark. This one, I got to tilt it over here. Readjust. They're both right there at my blade. Chomp. Turn it. Okay, I have that one on the mark. I have to turn. Get them adjusted. They're both at the blade. Chomp. Recycle bin. Okay, you can erase it or flip it over. It's up to you. Those are ready to go. Now we can come in and we can stamp Thinking of You in black Memento. Up kind of high so you have plenty of room to write something down below. Now I am going to put this little strip here from the DSP right down in that section as well. All right, so now we have the outside, the inside. We could even go ahead and glue this down, or we might want to pop it up. So let's wait. So all these elements are done. We need to work on this part. So once again, we need a ruler. We have already scored it at 5.5. This is where the ruler comes in great. You need to look and find your 1.5 inch mark. So if you put that 5.5, if you put that 5.5 inch mark, you meet it up on your ruler right here at the 1.5 inch mark, it's gonna work out great. So what you need to do then is on one side of that 5.5 inch mark at 3. At the other side, mark at the beginning of the 1 inch ruler. So down here, I mark, and at 3. So at the beginning of the ruler, at the measuring, mark, and at 3 mark. So it's there and there. Does that make sense? Let me hold it up and show you. So you put the 5.5 inch score line, you meet it up with the 1.5 inch mark on your ruler. You mark at the beginning of the ruler at one end, and you mark at the 3 inch mark. Now you just flip this around, and we're going to do it again. So line that 5.5 inch. Yes, my directions are a little, because was just simpler for me. Instead of going from 5.5 inches, you could do it this way. You can go from 5.5 inches and mark at 1.5, and then mark at 1.5 again. I just put the 1.5 inch mark at the center, mark at 3, and mark at the beginning of the ruler. So now I have both my points. So let me show you again. If you line up the 1.5 inch mark at the 5.5 inch score line, put a mark at the beginning of the ruler and put a mark at 3. You're going to should have a mark that is 1.5 inches down from 5.5 inches, the 5.5 inch score line, and up 1.5 inches from the 5.5 inch score line. This is going to give us our cross sections that we're going to score on. So now we bring in, you can do it on a scoreboard. I am using my trimmer because this is what I prefer to. So what you want to do now, I want my pokey tool. So take one tick mark on one side, right? On the opposite ends, opposite sides of the 5.5 inch score line. Line one up in the track. Bring the opposite one up in the track and get it lined up. So here's one and here's one. It's not lined up. It's lined up there. It's in the track. I'm going to close it up. So I see my mark and I see my mark, and now I'm going to score 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Open it up. You're going to see this is the 5.5 inch. This is 1.5 inches down on one side, and this is 1.5 inches up. So now I've got to do it to the other side. So here's my track. Here's my 1.5 inches up from the 5.5 inch score line. Here it is down 1.5 inches. So it's in the track. It's in the track. Close it up. I see my mark. I see my mark. I'm good to go. 1, 2, and 3. And now I have X marks the spot, and it's almost like you have an equator in there. You have your 5.5 inch score line. So now you can go in and you can erase your marks. So what you want to do next is fold at your 5.5 inch mark first. You're going to fold on all of them. At least I did. Fold that way, right? Open it back up. Now you're going to score, and it's going to look funny. It's going to look like this, but go ahead and score on it. Crease it. Open it up. So we did the 5.5 inch. We did one side. Now we're going to do the opposite side. It's going to look funny. Don't worry about it. Fold. There you go. Now what's going to happen is, so we have it like this is what a regular card would be. Open it up. This 5.5 inch, it's going to pucker in like so. Bring it in. There is your tent, your birdhouse. For us today, it is a shed. Go ahead and crease really well, front and back. You can open it up and crease on the inside of those, front and back. Now we can decorate. So we are going to glue this piece down. Oh, it looks great with basic gray. Of course it would look great with basic gray. It'd probably look great with pebbled path as well. So like I said, my idea was to create a little garden shed for the Garden Meadow bundle. Now I'm going to put my inside in. It's going to open up. See how cute that is? And with that little bit of sponging around the edges with the sponge dauber. Now, the question is, do I want this popped up? That would really look cute. Oh, that would be really cute. So you know what I'm going to do? I am going to put, yeah, I'm going to put some scrap pieces on it. Because I don't want it all the way, because I would like these on dimensionals. So let's see some scrappy strips. There. And I always have so many. There's a piece. There's a piece. Let's see. This might be 1, 2. I just want a little bump up. 1, 1, 2. What else do I have in here? Oh, look at, there's a whole stack of them. Yes. Do I have scraps? I have scraps. What am I looking for? I don't know yet. I'll know it when I see it. I don't know. I'm looking for a piece to fit in there. And I'm thinking I need to double that. So is this going to be the same? That will probably do that and that in this piece. Okay, I think I have enough. So what I want to do is double these up. These 3 pieces I just want to double. Oops. All right, and this piece needs a little bit. Maybe not 3 pieces. Those pieces, I don't know what's wrong with those. Oh, that's funny. These are the pieces I just glued together that I just pulled apart. I did. Let's glue these down. And we're going to try again in a minute to glue that one. Let's glue these 2 down. I did. That one. Anybody else say, hey, 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 look what you're doing, girl. All right. This one. There we go. All right. Oh no, you can see that. Why can't you see that? Oh, well, I can't do anything about that now. It's all right. By the time I get everything on there, you won't be able to see a darn thing. This is going up on dimensionals. I've never had that problem before. That must not have been a basic white I used. Okay. We are doing dimensionals. On the wheelbarrow. I'm going to put this here. Yeah, you can't even tell by the time I'm done. There's our little wheelbarrow. This is going on dimensionals. So this is going down in the center. Dimensionals on that. Why? Because we can. And it will look so cute. Especially with that pop of yellow in the little boots. Look how cute. Okay, do I want them down here? I kind of wanted them up like that. So, just one. So cute. Oh, yes, definitely the little brushed brass butterflies, and I don't think they're in this case. I don't think so. No. I had to check. I had already pulled it out, so we had to check. We have to wink Estella the flowers. Of course we do. Why am I like not seeing them? I don't have 3 cases. I'm like missing them somewhere. I have plenty of brush baskets. I cannot say those. You guys know what I'm talking about, don't you? The butterfly thingies. Did I put them in their own case? No. This is not nice. No, no. Butterflies! I'll take any butterflies right now I can have. Any of them. So we will take any butterflies. Any butterflies. I think that's my daughter. Any butterflies are welcome. All right. This one says me. This wee little one right there. And I think I have room for one. I don't know. Now I kind of like just the one, but I kind of want more. One. And this one as well. There we go. We have 3. We have 3. And wink Estella. Of course. Everything. And even on the boots. Because we can. Oh, so cute. So where's our envelope? There's our cute little envelope to go with our darling little boots. And I am so thankful, Michelle, you sent me this card. Oh my goodness. It is so cute. So I'm hoping that I explained well enough how to make this fold, because it sure is darling. And you do not have to make it a birdhouse. It sure is adorable. I mean, it's absolutely, you can make a window if you want with a die, just by die cutting it out. But you can also do something like this. So I hope that I have given you all some ideas. So thank you all so very much for allowing me into your home to share my love of paper crafting with you. I just love doing this, you guys. And I cannot thank you enough. It's just been amazing sharing what I love with you. If you enjoy my videos and you are not subscribed, I will ask that you would consider subscribing. I know some of you may not want to, and that's fine, but I'm going to ask, if you do enjoy them, to please consider that. I would appreciate you just considering it. For those of you who are subscribed, thank you so very much. It does help. It helps get my videos played. It does help me out tremendously. For all of you out there who comment, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your comments, guys, are why I continue to do this. If you were wondering, hey, does it matter if I leave a comment? It matters to me. It certainly does. I look for those comments each and every morning. I read them. I answer back. If you have a question about something, I will get back with you. Rarely do I'm not able to get back to those comments each day. It's the first thing I do in the morning when I charge my back. Those comments, guys, are why I'm still doing this. It is that connection, those friendships that I have made here on YouTube with you all that inspire me to keep going. So thank you for giving that to me. And I sincerely hope you come back and visit me in my wonderland. Bye-bye for now, everybody.